The Joel Shit Show, featuring Joel Shit. Hi, welcome to the Joel Shit Show. I'm your host, Joel Shit. Hang on a second. I skipped rehearsal, so let's fix that. Let's go into La Cena. That's dinner. What's the word for kitchen in Spanish? I don't know. That whirring sound, that's the microwave, microwaving some cauliflower with cheddar cheese on top. I'm going to make pasta. Not out of that, but that's going to go in the pasta. But, yeah, so we're going to continue the Chuck Bronson series. Some housekeeping for today, tomorrow 1 to 3 p.m. KSCU.org or on your smartphone. I'll be doing filling in for somebody else at the radio station, and then that's my last show for 10 days. Today's Chuck Bronson question: assuming you run for office and become governor of California, would there be any specific areas of government you would like to see cut back or even eliminated? You know, it's funny because when we recalled Gray Davis, which was a terrible idea, in 2003, it was only $3,500. And you could go on the ballot, and 130 some odd people said that's a good use of $3,500. And one person was right, and then the other 130 something people were like, well, there's no such thing as bad publicity. So I had $3,500 saved up, and instead I went to New Zealand, which probably was a good idea. Here's the last artifact from my trip to New Zealand 7 or 8 years ago. Remember, I don't rehearse. Sometimes I just have shit lying around. This is from Wairau River. It's a dessert wine, 1999. Probably should be drunken pretty soon. Misuse of grammar intentional, or bad conjugation, I suppose, of the verb. But to answer the question, oh, I'm sure I'd cut something back. I don't know what. It's hard to say because I don't have it in front of me. I generally like the programs that we have. We've cut so many programs in the last few years that I don't know what else that I would cut. Now, obviously, there are things that have to be cut, and that's what Jerry Brown is going through right now. I wouldn't just rubber stamp whatever he decides to do and say that's a good idea, but I will say that Jerry Brown is the right man for the job. And so I suppose I would just blindly say whatever he decides I would go along with. I like having a Democratic governor that knows how to cut spending, because the things he leaves behind tend to be more useful for society, in my opinion. But he still knows he has to cut spending, and so he'll do it. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger couldn't do that. He knew things that he knew he needed to cut things, but he decided to spend more. And I was fine with that too. I mean, come on, raise my taxes. I'm just sitting on my money. Do something with it. You can give it back to me later in exchange for libraries that are open more than 3 days a week, or roads that are not bumpy, things like that. I would like to think of at least one thing that I would cut back or eliminate, because that's what the question is asking. Wow. It says a lot about me that I can't come up with at least one thing. Boy. I suppose that I would like to see the government spend, I know, how about the microwave? No, I saw the timer. I knew the microwave was going to end. Here we go. This is actually a legitimate thing. 4 minutes into the video, or however long it's been. The government spends money on vehicles, the fleet, cars for their different people, bureaucrats, senators, assemblymen, whatever, right? I think that they need to start buying used vehicles instead of new ones, because the value of a car drops X% as soon as you take it out of the lot. And I think they should spend some money on mechanics to keep those in working order instead of just buying new ones all the time. So then you can hang on to the cars longer. Studies have shown that the least expensive way to have a car is to keep the same one for longer amounts of time. The demand is on new cars. Therefore, the oversupply is on used cars. So think about if the government only bought cars that were 2 years old or older. And think about if they would repair the cars until it costs more to repair the car than it was worth. And you give an incentive to government workers that have state-issued cars as part of the fleet. Give them an incentive that if nothing goes wrong with the car, they get a bonus. Not as much as it would have cost to repair the car, obviously, because that doesn't make sense. But you could probably give them a $1,000 a year bonus if the car doesn't require any major repairs, because otherwise you're going to junk the car, right? You can't idealistically say, well, you're a public worker, so we know you have the people's best interest in mind. They should, but they're not gonna. But you give them an incentive like that, $1,000 a week before Christmas, bam! I think that's the way to go. But seriously, it would save millions of dollars if we did not buy new cars all the time. And also perhaps require a certain level of mileage. Figure out how often only one person is in that car, and if it's most of the time, get them a smaller car that gets better mileage. If their job involves moving a lot of people around or carrying a lot of equipment around, then give them a larger car. But, get one that runs, cleaner or still gets better mileage. There are good and bad options. You could pay one person $100,000 a year to figure all that shit out, and it would save millions. That's a good investment. That's all the time we have for today. Visit us on the web at joelshitshow.com. Email joel@joelshitshow.com.